Okay, we are on the module quiz ready to go on. The deal here is that you have completed all of module 1. You've watched all the videos and completed all the pages. And now you're ready for the module quiz ready to go on. You need to try these pages. This is pages 25 and 26. This will probably be broken up into 2 videos. You need to try pages 25 and 26 first. And really, you need to do more than try them. You need to complete pages 25 and 26 and only watch this video then to check your answer. And this will be your final review before the module quiz. Okay, so they're ready to go on. We're on 1.1. Identifying integers and their opposites. Number 1, the table shows the elevations in feet of several locations around a coastal town. Graph and label the locations on the number line according to their elevations. The post office is at +8, so I'm going to put an A there. The library is at -3, I'll put a B there. Town hall is at -9, I'll put a C there. The laundromat is at +3, I'll put a D there. And the pet store is at +1, I'll put an E there. That's all I had to do for number 1. For numbers 2 and 3, we were to write the opposite of each number. The opposite of -22 is the number that is the same distance from 0 as -22, and that's +22. And number 3, we've gone over this quite a few times. The opposite of 0 is itself. The answer is 0. Okay, moving on. 1.2. Comparing and ordering integers. List the numbers in order from least to greatest. It's pretty important to pay attention to this because on the module test, sometimes the questions are least to greatest and sometimes they're greatest to least. Alright, so what I'm going to do is review with you how I can use, and I just picture this, you don't always need to write this stuff down, but I just picture a number line here. And if I put 0 in the middle, the greatest numbers are to the right and they're positive, and the least numbers are to the left and they're negative. So if you think about it, which of these numbers would be the one that's farthest to the left? Well, it's going to be -15. -15 is going to be 15 spaces to the left of 0, so that's way over there. So that's my least number. And then I've got some other negative numbers. So that would be -15. -5 would be about right here. And then -2 would be about right here. So those are all my negatives. I got those out of the way. I'm going to cross them off as I go. Now I've got some positive numbers, and these are pretty simple. We've got a 1. We've got a 3. And we've got an 8. So the correct order from least to greatest is -15, -5, -2, 1, 3, and 8. I think what I'll do here is clear and move on. I've got 2 of these compare numbers here. I almost can use this for this set of problems right here. I can almost use this number line down here to help me figure these out. So I'm comparing -3 and -15. If I put -3 right here, -15 would actually be out here. And a lot of kids want to say 15 is bigger than 3, so a lot of kids do this wrong. They put the symbol this way. But that is backwards because we think about the greater number is the one farthest to the right. -3 is greater, it's farther to the right than -15, so it's this symbol right here. So make sure you get that one right. And number 6, I'm going to do the same thing. Oops, change it to eraser. Number 6 is +9 is way to the right. -10 is way to the left. A positive number is always going to be greater than a negative number. Make sure you get those right. Okay. 1.3 absolute value. Graph each number on the number line. Then use your number line to find the absolute value of each number. 2 right here is 1, 2 spaces from 0. -8 right here is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 spaces from 0. -5 right here is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 spaces from 0. This is a good chance to remind you that absolute values are always non-negative. The number itself can be negative, but the absolute value is a non-negative. Alright, let's go on to the essential check-in question. Oops, too far. So number 10, I'm going to remind you of like the Death Valley problem. Number 10 says, how can you use absolute value to represent a negative number in a real-world situation? So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to remind you that in earlier in one of our problems, we had something to the effect of Death Valley was negative 282 feet, and they used the words relative to sea level. And a problem like this is saying, how do we take a negative number and not use the negative sign, but share the same information? And what we said before was, we said something like the elevation of Death Valley is, or we might have just said it this way: Death Valley is 282 feet. Notice I took the negative symbol off. The negative symbol here, I took it off, because what I'm doing is I'm using the absolute value of negative 282. The absolute value of that is positive. But then I need to be accurate about what I'm saying. I can't change the elevation to 282 feet above sea level. So what I do is I use a word to describe that it's a negative number. Death Valley is 282 feet below sea level. So that is using the absolute value to describe a negative number. Okay, you are done with page 25.